Welcome back to the Auto Advisor channel. My name is Murali and today I'm driving the 2023 Suzuki Grand Vitara. This is the 1.5 GLX manual. It is got a nice two-tone finish to it, so the body's finished in opulent red and the roof and the pillars are finished in midnight black, which does give the vehicle a very modern feel. Now at the front of the vehicle you'll notice these LED headlamps which also double up as daytime running lights as well as used for your indicators. Below that you've got your fog lights, and then you've got this nice bold grille at the front which is finished in chrome as well as black. And at the bottom you've got the skid plate which is finished in a light silver that gives the vehicle a very off-road and adventurous kind of feel to it. So under the bonnet you've got a 4-cylinder 1.5 litre petrol motor. It is normally aspirated. It develops 77 kilowatts and 138 newton meters of torque, and it's mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox. So on the side of the vehicle you'll see 17-inch rims. It's wrapped in Polo tires. Not really a fan of these tires, but on this vehicle they should be fit for purpose. You also got these nice plastic trimmings around the wheel arches. Alright, so on the interior of the Grand Vitara, you've got a nice 9-inch infotainment system. It's got Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, it's got your fuel consumption on there. It's got some basic settings as well, if you want to tweak some of the the locking features on your door, etc. Nothing really fancy, but it does do the job well, and that 9-inch does look pretty nice here as well. At the bottom you've got your climate control, and then just below that you've got your traction control as well as your PDC or parking sensors on and off button. And at the bottom here you've got a wireless charging point as well as one type A and then 120 watt charge point. So you've got a nice leather steering wheel with some basic steering controls, which is your volume, mute, switch a song, as well as your cruise control settings. And then you've got your ability to answer a phone call on here. You do also get auto headlights here. And on your instrument cluster, it is a combination of analog and digital. So the digital just being in the middle where you could see your fuel consumption, and obviously your speedometer and your rev counter are still in analog. You've also got this heads-up display which has a couple of settings. I think there's about 3 or 4 settings within it that you can adjust on the right here. And then you've also got your view button for your 360-degree camera. You've got a start stop button here as well. And overall I think nothing really wrong with the interior. These nice soft touches. It does give the vehicle a more appealing and plush feel. So in the rear of the Grand Vitara, nothing to really complain about. I think is quite a bit of leg room. Driver's seat is set in my driving position. I'm 1.8 meters tall. Not too much of headroom, but there is sufficient space for me. You also get a vent here for your aircon. You've got 2 charging ports, one type A and one type C. And then you've got 2 pockets behind your seats, a window electric controller, as well as a cup holder. In your armrests, you've got 2 additional cup holders, and you've got a 3-point harness here for the middle occupant as well as ISOFIX. So in the boot, you've got 373 liters of boot space. You've got and you also can drop down your rear seats to expand on those 373 liters, and it does become quite spacious then if you need to load up something into the back of your car. And you also get a full-size spare tire here, so kudos to Suzuki for including that. Moving around to the back of the vehicle, you'll notice that you've got your rear spoiler with a brake light embedded in it. You've got your shark fin at the top. You've got these nice new lights which kind of give it this light bar effect, and they look quite good. And they are very effective as well, and they give the vehicle a sleek design. And at the bottom you've also got a skid plate. At the top of the roof you've also got these roof rails. Alright, so let's take this Grand Vitara on the road and let's see what's it like to drive. On the road, Grand Vitara drives quite well. I mean, it's comfortable, the gearbox is smooth, clutch is soft, so it's very easy to drive and to maneuver around. So one thing I did notice is on the highway at about 120 kilometers an hour, your rev range is about 3,500 to 4,000 revs, and you know that does become a bit high for highway driving, and it can become a bit noisy in the cabin. And I think it would have been nice to have a 6 gear, right? Especially on the highway. So from a safety perspective, you get 6 airbags, including curtain airbags. You get ABS with EBD. You get ESP. You got auto hill control. You've got side impact beams, and you've also got PDC, got a reverse parking camera as well. And these are all very welcomed, and just a a good specification there from a safety perspective. So if you want to get into the Grand Vitara range, you can enter into the range for 339,000 with the 1.5 GL manual, or if you want this GLX derivative, that will set you back 397,000 Rand. There is the range topping all grip model, which also is available for 529,000 Rand. All models do come standard with a 5-year 200,000 kilometer warranty, as well as a 6-year 90,000 kilometer service plan. Now, Suzuki has done a great job of making this their own and adding in a lot of touches and a lot of specification that cannot be found on the Toyota Urban Cruiser. And I think this is where they've differentiated themselves well. In addition, the vehicles have 2 completely different stylings, and I mean, even though underneath all the metal it's pretty much the same vehicle, Suzuki do have the upper hand here, in my opinion, and they've added in a lot of standard specification with a very minimal price difference between the range topping XR model and then the GLX model on this Grand Vitara. So if you are in the market for SUV under 400,000 Rand, I do encourage you to have a look at this Suzuki Grand Vitara, as it does offer incredible value.